So there's a number of things you can do. Another thing that I want to try to demonstrate with this example is one of the advantages of using 3D design, in this case SketchUp, to design an item, because you can do some experimentation to tell whether or not things will fit or work in the places. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw a drawer here. And to do that, what I'm going to do is click on this space. I'm going to use my not the rectangle tool, the okay, oh, here we go. The offset tool. And I'm going to make another one, but very, very small, because what I'm essentially drawing is the space between the outside panel and the door, because they're never a tight fit. So now I have a new example. And to kind of show you what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up and click on the top, and I'm going to right click, and hide, so I can see down inside the bed for now. Then I'm going to click on this again. I'm just catching on the inner part, say that inner part that I did. Use the pull tool and pull back what would be my drawer. And then if I click on the top, use the offset tool again, I can come for the thickness of the wood that I'm going to be making my drawers out of, let's say 9/16. Use the pull tool again and pull down to create the actual structure of the drawer. So now you see I have my wooden sides with everything on here. Okay, and you'll notice I lost the front of my drawer, but if I come back and redraw over this line, that front should come back in. There we go. So there's my drawer. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go around and highlight all the parts of the drawer, and you're going to make sure you get all of them, and we want just the drawer. Sorry, I had a little problem there. I'm going to click out here and start over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, because there is an easier way to do that. I'm just going to hit Control Z till I get back till I just have my door front. I'm going to click on this part to see it highlighted, and I'm going to make it a component, and I'm going to call it bed drawer. Again, make sure this is selected. Create. Alright, so that I know it's separate. Go through the same process to create my drawer, and I can bring this back as far as I'm planning my design. It may be that I might have some electrical or batteries or other thing back here, so I want to make sure that I'm allowing that space, so I could either draw in the batteries or draw in a box or space to represent where those are going to be. Alright, so I'm going to use my offset tool again. Draw down for the depth of the drawer. If I come down all the way to see how that pattern shows up, that means I hit the bottom, which was too far. Control Z, bring it back up, and this time when I go down, make sure I don't go down quite so far. A little tricky sometimes. Okay, for sake of demonstration, I'm going to leave it there. Now, because I made it a component too, you can see that the front stayed on this time. But that is a component. So if I click on the component, once I have the drawer created, I can click on the Move tool, grab one corner, and I can work from here or work from back here. Let's work from back here. If I click and hold with my left mouse, I can actually, sorry. Sometimes I like to do this too if I'm having a little problem. What I'm going to do is deselect all of this and draw a line from the corner of that straight out on my axis and click. Now let's click on the drawer again. So we have the drawer highlighted. Use the move tool, and I can slide it out along this line. Alright. That is not going the direction I want it to go for some reason here. Okay, sometimes that happens. Let me do this again. You'll notice what happened is this wants to go in one direction and not the direction that I want it to go. And when I get out of place, Control Z. Sometimes if you turn, that will help. Okay, it's not going to do it. Or like I said, draw a line. And I guess what I'm going to have to do with my line is actually select the drawer, attach the line to the drawer, okay, let's see if that's going to help. Well, this is most interesting, folks. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. This is going to make me work for what I want to show you. I've got it highlighted. I'm going to go up and I'm going to click Edit, Cut the drawer. And I think I'm seeing part of the problem now is this got left in place. But for now, let's go back, Edit, Paste in place. Now let's see if I can get it to follow my line I want it to follow. No, darn it. This time I'm going to use just paste. Paste it at any place, then bring it back down to this line. There we go. Now I've got it on the line. To work for it this time. Sometimes that's the way 3D design is. Now, by clicking on here, you see what I can do is I can slide this back and forth on the line, and I can try and see how my drawer is going to work, how it's going to work in that space, if it's going to come out and be okay. You can see, for instance, with this drawer out, not only could you not walk through the aisle, but you're not going to be able to open the door to the bathroom and the shower. So you might want to consider, or just say, well, okay, I want to make sure I never open that drawer when I want to get into the shower. Or you might decide that what you might do is break the door into smaller sections. Maybe put a small drawer here, a small drawer in the middle, make 3 smaller drawers so that you could open one and this door could still open, or this one where you would leave the center one closed. Or that might have, instead of a space with a slide-out drawer, you might make 3 sections across here, and this would just have maybe a folding door that folds down. Okay, so again, part of the reason for doing this is it gives you the chance to play with your shapes and different positions that you're working with, just to see, well, you know, will this work out? Will a door swing in the right place? Will I be able to get in or out when I need to? Now I'm going to put the top back on this bed. So I'm going to go up to File, Unhide, and Last, because that was the last thing that I hid, and there is our bed. Alright, the other thing that's kind of neat about when you're doing interior design using SketchUp is you can play around with the size of things once you've created them. If I click on this cabinet, and you can see I've got the measurement on it, I hit the S for the scale key. I can grab one of these and I can extend the length of a cabinet. I can shorten it. Okay. I'm going to go Control Z to get back to the original size I had. You can change the height. Alright, so there's a number of things you can do to play around with the size and the shape to see how things fit in your trailer and what they're working with. So I'm going to deselect that. Now, if I want to start designing on this side, I can. But you'll see what happens. Let's say here's where the refrigerator is.